What's up, Jason? What's up, everybody else? Welcome to you. Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is going to be a super mobile stream. We're going to be moving everything around a lot. This is the only way to make hot dogs. Welcome to you. I'm Yonder. Thank y'all for being here. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you'd like to. You don't have to if you don't want. It's a choice. But we're gonna make hot dogs and I'm gonna show y'all the only way to do this. The only way to do this. All right. So I got Red Hots here. I'm gonna leave 2 Red Hots in here. And then I'm gonna take out five dogs. Now, you say, why do you do so much? Well, look, I'm fat. I like to eat hot dogs. And the buns come 8 to a pack. And I just believe that that's somewhat of a suggestion. All right, let me. Now, yeah, I just grabbed them out of the pack with my hands. So now what do? You wash the hands. Okay. I don't have to keep saying that. Y'all understand that I want to wash my hands after every single thing that I do, right? So, here's what I do. Not a lot of people will do this. They won't think to do it because this is just hot dogs. You won't think to. I season them. We're gonna go in here with some pepper. First, before we should have already done, hit them with some seasoned salt. And I'm also gonna, seasoned salt has a little garlic and onion powder in it. I'm going to, I just re-upped on my onion powder and garlic powder today. So we're gonna celebrate that. And like, this is not how everybody will do it. This is how I do it, and this is the only right way. Look at that. They are very seasoned, like very much so. Very, very seasoned. So now, y'all can come out here with me. I'm carrying y'all the whole way today. Sucker on. Come on now, there you go. Yeah. All right. Now crank this bad boy up. Oh shit, I left the propane on last time. That ain't good. I thought. Yeah, because that's the natural motion there. There it is. There need 2 burners on. I'm going for 3 because we want to keep the temperature in the grill high. High heat. High heat in the grill. We're getting up close and personal today, y'all. Hello. Hello. Those people have an absolute rager of a party that lasts all night once a year. Yes, they're still there. But once a year, them people get the F down. You hear me? Now, the thing that I am mainly showing you guys today, this does require a propane grill, roughly 8 hot dogs and sausages interchanged into whatever kind you like. If you like the sausages, I'm going to show you what to do with them. 8 hot dog buns, a good little set of tongs here, a good set of tongs, good stainless steel set of tongs. And here's what I do: 1 hand, tong, plate. Now here we go. Now let's go put these on the grill. Backed into the wall. Uh-oh. Hey now. Hey now. Don't leave me. Oh. Hey now. Hey now. Yeah. And they come to build a wall between us. All right. So hot spots on this grill, right here, here. This area right here, this area right here is where the hot spots are. So I want the hottest spots to bust these red hots open. So they're going right there. And the other hot spot, which I'm gonna slide that around a little bit and get those all in one go. The other hot spot is right here. I'm gonna spread these out a little bit. Just a little bit so the heat can pass between them. And you'll see I'm just separating them a little bit. I'm keeping them kind of tight, but just enough space between here. The space between. See the space between these suckers? Just a little bit. We're gonna leave them there just like that. Leave them just like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this I can't stress this enough, guys. The most important part of cooking good hot dogs is burn them. Do you hear me? That is the most important part of cooking good hot dogs. Burn them. Burn them. And you know the best way of burning hot dogs? Put them on there and leave them. Don't get in the way. Let them do what they're doing. And this is how much seasoning is left on the plate afterwards. So this always, you know how I'm saying all the time, you gotta wait on stuff. You utilize that time to wash your dishes. And I'll show you. By the way, if you need a dish rack, if you don't have a dish rack, like a thing where you can stack your plates vertically, and things to let them drip dry, I suggest you get one. They're very inexpensive. You can get them off of Amazon for just a few dollars. A drying rack is nice. This plate, wetter than hell. I'm telling you, just like somebody just played Every Rose Has Its Thorn in the heyday. And in just a few moments, that plate's gonna be dry. Just dripping, just drip dried. And yeah, the hot dogs are still out there sitting on the heat. They're doing what I want them to do. And I'm gonna just let them sleeping dogs lie. You know what I'm saying? That's what that saying means. That's where the saying comes from. Let sleeping dogs lie. That means you got to burn them. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no water. Let the mother fathers burn. The little babies are gonna burn. Do y'all remember that creepy movie? That creepy movie Legion, with that old lady, that old angel lady, saying the creepy stuff about the babies? Boy, she was creepy. They're all gonna burn. You're all gonna burn. She was so sweet with the way she was saying it. There was love in her eyes when she was saying it. That made it weird. Oh, let me show y'all while we're waiting on them dogs to split. We got, boom. We got literally almost a 10-pound, this is 9.5 pound Boston butt. And what I'm gonna do is put that in the crock pot with two large bottles of barbecue sauce, and just let it go. Just let that sucker go. 9.5 pounds. All right. Let's go and check in on the dogs. What we're gonna do, there's some on the edges, the fringe dogs might need to be rotated with the top dogs. So let's see what we're looking at here. Hell yeah, brother. So this right here, we want that, and we want that. You see that? And this sucker over here is already rolled over on itself. Now the dogs, them right there, are just how we want them. And these up here can roll down here, so they'll get closer to how we want them. I'm looking at the dogs and not the screen, y'all. Sorry, I'm getting that lined up a little better. So, you see here, I'm rotating this into where they're a little. Bam. So now we leave them be. And yeah, top of the grill's dirty. It lives outside. I don't know what you want. Grill that shit up. That's right. So the next step that we do, you remember how I told you that in just a short time that plate would be dry? Look at that. Well, maybe not. Literally just a little bit of water there, but not enough to where I can't take it and go ahead ahead and get me my hot dog buns. I'm using family style hot dog buns. Cheapest buns available at HEB, but unfortunately, the only brand that they have available most of the time. Go ahead and break them apart there, like so. So then we give the hot dogs another couple minutes, and in that time, why don't we just not waste no time at all? Let's just go have a word from our sponsors. Welcome to you. Please like the video if you don't mind. If you're just checking in, we're going to get the hot dogs in just a second. We're going to get the hot dogs in just a minute. Just a minute, we're going to get them hot dogs. Because they're going to have to stay on there for a little bit longer because, well, you'll see. Y'all hear that? I'm going to give y'all a decent little setup out there so y'all can overlook the grill and overlook what I'm doing with the buns, because you heard us correctly. We're going to grill the buns. Oh, lighter, dying in duty. All right. Now, let me show y'all how this is done right here. Got him. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. We got our tongs. We got our buns and plate. Now let's go. I'm gonna set y'all down right here. Slide this guy around some into the light. Hell yeah. Now, look at this. See that? That's what you want. This guy's split. All the red hots have split open. Let me bring them over to the side here. All the dogs are burnt good. Get them all. Bring them over here. And then one by one, we lay down the buns. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. I wouldn't have flipped this sucker over probably. See what we're doing here? Just quick like that. And we'll slide them over like that. Sides, and I can feel, I know you guys can't see because my arm's in the way, hold on. You can see a little better. sides. Hot. And then same deal. Some of them get a little crispier than the others. We don't fault them for that. That's what we want. That's what I want. And this guy is the only one that doesn't have the color on it that I want. So, kill heat. Before I forget, again, kill propane. And save these buns before they get any crispier. This guy is getting the most crispy sausage. I want this guy to get a crispy sausage too. And he's also the runt. The runt can get the smallest crispy sausage. And I mean crispy sausage, dude. Look at that. Look at that, guys. I don't know why I picked the way that I do to put which in which. But it only matters for the sausages. Then I just put the hot dogs in. Can y'all hear that when you the crispy when it goes in? Like, listen to this. Did y'all hear that? I'm assuming the audio is pretty good on this phone. So this is going to be a feat to carry. My eyes are on the prize. And then we made it back. And this is what we end up with. The Tower of Dogs, the Temple of Dogs, the absolute mother-loving Temple of Dogs. You got the red hots on the bottom. You got the regulars on the top. And it's a little ritual that I do just because and this is something I encourage you to do if you make a mess of hot dogs like this. Sometimes you forget. A lot of people will just use hot dogs for just condiments. Use hot dogs for piling as many condiments as possible on there. But I suggest that when, not if, but when you make your hot dogs like this and you end up getting a nice crisp, hear this? You hear that? Get that sound on your bun. All the sides, all edges are nice and crispy, and your hot dog is nice and crispy. I suggest that you just pick a good end, 0 condiments. And just appreciate the taste of a hot dog with nothing on it. Because I'm telling you, if you use, not ballpark, I don't do ballpark, don't do ballpark. But if you do like a Hebrew National or a Nathan's, or my favorite, Texas Heritage, HEB, Texas Heritage, there's truly nothing like it. So, for condiments, of course ketchup, of course mustard, but for the advanced, A1 sauce, barbecue sauce. I'm also going to show you guys how to do the perfect condiment application. Tell you how to do it. We're going to start with these two right here. Now, those two are going to be regular. So for ketchup, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter. Ketchup sort of blends in with the dog. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is that your mustard, nice shake, get it all in one end. Fluid motion, back and forth. That's all that matters. And look at that, the perfect hot dog. The absolute perfect hot dog. Ketchup, mustard. Looks like right out of a storybook, right? Looks like how a hot dog's supposed to look. That's what they look like. Ketchup, mustard, dog. You understand? I'm not saying that I have made hot dogs gourmet, but look at that. Look at that juicy dog there. Look at that juicy dog Look at that crispy bun. Look at them perfect condiments. I mean, this just goes to show you that if you take a little time with anything, you can make it incredible. Now we got 3 and 3 left. These guys, I want the one that split all the way down first. I think that's this one. Oh yeah. See that one in there? Split all the way up. And with these, there's only one condiment, and that is the mustard. And that's that. That's how you mustard a sausage dog. Bam. Look at how that crispy bun. This was the rarest of the buns. Hell yeah, dude. So really, I stand here and do that while I'm clearing enough space to where I can sit things all in their own place here. So then I'm gonna come through with these guys getting ketchup. And one of them gets barbecue sauce, just one strip of BBQ, and the other one here, I want to open that up a little more, give it some more room. I'm gonna give it some A1 sauce. Just one strip. I'm trying to be gentle because when this stuff starts coming out, there we go. It comes out with purpose. So a little A1 sauce on that one, a little barbecue sauce on this one, and everything gets mustard. Mustard goes on last, and it doesn't matter. You see how perfect they all look now? Just because you do the mustard last, the color that pops the most. So that's all you gotta do is nail that. Mustard is the equivalent of a chorus in a song. Everything else is a verse. Verses kind of blend in with everything. The chorus, if you don't stick the chorus, people think you're a fraud. Bam. Now, there we go. And we're back. So, yeah, that's how I make hot dogs. Nah, another little Texas Pete. Nah, I'm not going. I don't think there's any room for Texas Pete here. Like, maybe, I don't know, because the Red Hots are already spicy, and I like the hot dogs not having spice. I wouldn't put them on a Red Hot because it doesn't make sense. And on the hot dog, I want to break from the spice of the Red Hot. So, look at this bite that's about to happen right there. Hell yeah, Jack. I wouldn't mind having a little grilled onion action, but I was going for minimalist. I was going for minimalist today. I didn't want to get the cutting board and the knife out. This is a 2-dish ordeal. Onions would have made it a 5-dish one. Actually 6, because I would have had to get a fork dirty too, because I would have used a fork. That's the easiest thing to wash. But yeah, onions, grilled onions are nice. I'm just going for, like I said, going for the easiest option. This is totally a midnight snack. A midnight snack that ate hot dogs. But tomorrow I'll probably be chopping up some onions. I don't know. I got up pretty early this morning. Got up at like 9:30. So, I mean, I could play some cards. I mean, come on, dude. Look at that. That looks like a Grateful Dead. Steal your face. Yeah, I'm like 5 hours away from a 24-hour run. And I said I dozed off. I didn't fall asleep at all. I literally just closed my eyes and had that scared, oh no, I'm falling feeling as I was falling asleep. So it was literally just I woke up as I was falling asleep. Hell yeah, bacon works too. That's something I've done before. Um, and to be honest, I kind of like this route better than the bacon grease way. But I have made a bunch of bacon before and just left the grease in the pan and cooked the hot dogs in the bacon grease, thinking, oh, these are going to be the best hot dogs on earth. And to be honest, the grilled hot dog is better, I think. It just has a different thing to it when it's with the bacon. It's almost like, it's like, hey, you're still a hot dog. Like, just be a hot dog. But yeah, wrapped in bacon. I mean, who am I kidding? I think it's good. They're still very, very good, just for my preference. And I've done hot dogs a lot of different ways. This is awesome. Monsters University. When Sully gets a good scare. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going with the A1 sauce. It's such a nice um, change of pace. Yeah. It's a really nice change of pace for like, ooh, where'd that flavor come from? And it's quite nice. Oh man. I tore the end of this bun off because man, there's too much bread on the end. But look at that, dude. I like that color there. Jason, that is absolutely delicious for you. Sauerkraut has no room on my hot dog. I don't mind a little sweet relish. In fact, the all the way dog back home is generally ketchup, mustard, chili, cheese, slaw. Maybe not cheese, maybe just chili, slaw, ketchup, mustard. I like slaw dogs. Slaw is real good on a hot dog. It's too much for me. I can't do it. It's too powerful. It's too powerful of a flavor. I don't like it's too overpowering. Like when sauerkraut is there, it's like the loud guy in the room. You know, it's like, wow, this guy is obnoxious. Like, hey, slow mode. Exclamation point, slow mode. Sauerkraut. Calm down. I mean, I like cabbage other like other ways. Like I like corned beef and cabbage, but I'm just not crazy about. I don't know if it's like the vinegar, the smell. The smell throws me off. I don't like the smell, therefore I don't like the. I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. I've had chow mein. I can deal with that. I like lo mein. I can deal with that. I'm just not. I'm not big on an overpowering like. When I think of sauerkraut, I think of overpowering vinegar, overpowering sour. And I know that's in the name, but I don't like sour. I don't like sour cream. I don't like sauerkraut. I don't like sour by Stone Temple Pilots. I don't like sour. I don't want that in my flavor palette. I'm not ready for that. I haven't advanced to that point yet. Yeah, I don't. No fermented. I don't fuck with kimchi. Uh, I don't fuck with that. You know what? Sour gummies I can do because sour has a place in candy. And sweet and sour chicken I can do. Sour diesel, I can do that. Sour has no place in my cabbage. Yeah, sour has no place with my cabbage or my dairy. I do not want anything. I don't want sour. These buns are decent, but there's a brand called Miss Baird's. Bairds, Miss Baird's. That's the best brand of bread here, in my opinion. But these are just super cheap and they come in a 16 pack. And it's literally half the price of the other ones, and the other ones are literally always sold out. I can see that, but I just can't. Um, it has such a nasty texture. I feel the same way about avocado. The texture of it, the mushiness, um, like like something raw shouldn't be that mushy. Like I don't like guacamole, and I can eat avocado. There's a taco that I get from Tyson's Tacos that has avocado on it, and sometimes I forget to tell them to leave it off, and I'll eat it. But literally after I take one bite, because I try, I really do, like just to see if I've changed. I try. I take one bite with the avocado, and then I like force myself to eat that and then knock the rest of the avocado off because it doesn't, to me it doesn't add anything. And it's such a like it tastes like just mushy soap almost. It tastes like a soap thing. I just don't like it. Yeah, I'm not crazy about avocado. And I don't like now that they try to put it on everything. They literally try to put avocado on fucking everything, dude. It's just too much. Thrills gum. I don't know what that is. Yeah, big avocado is just shoving this nut down our throat. The big avocado nut in the beginning. I think that the only reason avocado came back is because somebody made a cool video about how to cut one open and then chop the fucking thing out of there with a knife, and ended up having a bunch of hipsters go too hard and slice their hand open. If you ask me, that's what you get eating something stupid like that. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Avocado ain't that good. Leave it alone. I don't think cilantro smells like soap, David. Welcome to you, by the way. You get a wrench. I don't feel like cilantro tastes like soap. I can handle that. But avocado to me has that mushy, like there's an aroma to it. There's just that smell that you get that I guess it is a fresh smell because avocado does smell very fresh. So, but it gives me the same sensation as if I were to have soap in my mouth as I'm eating it. And I just don't, it just can't. I don't know. Yeah, dude. There's a dark history of avocados, buddy. Yeah, honestly, it's probably more a texture thing than anything else. But the flavor of avocado, it to me, in my mind, is very close to the flavor of sour cream. Is that about accurate? Like literally avocado and sour cream kind of have a similar flavor compound. Like it's very, very similar. Like sour cream is a little more runny, but they both have that. They both have that. It's too overpowering on the palate cleansing. You know, like I think that avocado is probably something, and as sour cream is probably something to cleanse the palate a little bit, but I think it does too much. It does too much of that, and it gets in the way of all the other stuff. I love mushrooms. Can't do olives. I could do olives on pizza. I don't mind black olives on pizza at all. Black olives matter. No. Honestly, a banana I can do because a banana has. All right, that's actually a good point. Banana is my favorite of the fruits. It is perfectly sweet, it is perfectly flavored, and it is the perfect level of firm to be able to be enjoyed without spoiling any kind of texture fouls. Bananas are literally my favorite fruit. Yeah, beets as well. I'm not crazy about beets. It's just too much. So yeah, like, but I can. Now Jade, there is a place for sour cream in some things, and as far as like nachos and things like that go, if it's with a group and a bunch of people order, if we order nachos, we're not gonna go subbing anything on the nachos at the table. I will eat chip with some sour cream on it. Like I'm saying, I can eat these things. It's just not. I'm not gonna cook with it because I don't. It doesn't add anything, in my opinion. It doesn't add anything to anything that I cook. Maybe one day I'll figure it out and I'll start. I'll start doing it and figure like I don't know, figure out how I like it and maybe eat these words one day. But up until this point, and I've tried, like there's just no place for that texture or flavor in any of the food that I want to enjoy. And you guys see how I cook. I have a very niche style of cooking, a very southern niche style of cooking. Like the vegetables we use are onions, sauteed mushrooms, the occasional unhealthy salad, maybe every now and again a pepper or two will find its way into something that I cook, but that hasn't happened in some time. Um, yeah, like that's how I cook. So it doesn't really fall into my. For instance, baseball fans in here will love this. Greg Maddux, when asked why don't you throw more no hitters, you're like one of the greatest pitchers. He said because it's not in my nature to throw a no hitter. I can do more work with less pitches by letting a couple of guys on first and second, and then getting like like letting guys on first, and then getting a double play with two pitches rather than throwing my arm. Like it's somewhat of an analogy, but basically, it's not in my nature to use those flavors in the stuff that I cook. Like I could use that. I could add those things, but there's a reason why I kind of stay away from that. Now, when it comes to dips, I think sour cream is good as an ingredient in things. Like, see, there you go. As a stroganoff, yes, that I'm all about using it as like an ingredient in things, like as a cooking. But then but standalone is what I'm talking about. By the way, I don't like it's necessary in certain. It's necessary in certain dishes. I love a good stroganoff. But standalone, I mean, I don't want a big. I don't want to order Taco Bell and get a big glob of sour cream in the middle of the taco. Like that's just, blah, blah. Ugh, it's like a. Yeah. You want me to tell you how much I love college football is when I made that noise right there. I thought about the last time I made it, and it was when I saw an Auburn. Ugh. I'm like saying that word. Ugh. I saw an Auburn sticker on the back of a car. Ugh. All right, R.I.P. to this lighter. Let it use its last flame. I understand that some people like it that much, but I ain't him, y'all. Gonna switch out my little lighter case here. My boy Bonsai, who makes the joke books for Kill Tony, gave me this, handcrafted by Bonsai. Bam. And it perfectly fits a big lighter. Wow. That's my lighter. There's sour cream here. I'll tell you, Mumford sometimes will take like a can of chili and he'll zhuzh it up with some sour cream and some cheddar cheese and stuff like that. And that looks good. It looks good when you do it and you mix it all together. But like I said, that's as part of like a thickening agent in a way, or not, or you know, it's part of something like that. The flavor compound, like that's fine. I don't hate that, but as a standalone, I don't want to be able to see it, you know. As ingredients, it's great. And for dips, like I love a good French onion dip. I love a good dill sauce. I love it in that like I love sour cream and onion chips. Uh, it's good. It's good like that. But yeah, what else is there that I'm not crazy? Oh, you know what else I don't like? I'm not crazy about livers. And I prefer the gizzard. I have gotten some livers, and I got them from Bush's. And to be honest, I ate them. And I remembered like, okay, well, it was more nostalgia than anything else. And I can appreciate the flavor of liver now, but I'm not crazy about livers. Also, I'm not crazy about oysters. I don't like oysters either. Yeah, I'm the gizzard wizard. That's right. Yeah, don't like livers. I love gizzards though. I will eat the bejesus out of some gizzards. In fact, soon I'm gonna go up to Bush's and get myself some gizzards. I used to go to Bush's every Sunday and not like the baked beans, but like the presidents. Bush's fried chicken, and I would get a 12-piece chicken tender box that comes with a large portion of gravy, white gravy, and I would get an order of gizzards, probably an eight piece, maybe a 12 piece. I forget how they came. One of those. And I would get an order of corn poppers, which is like a hush puppy, except there's actual kernels of corn. It's like stuffed with sweet corn, and they're deep fried like a hush puppy, but they have the little like corn kernels in there, and it's very good. It's like a spoonful of sweet. It's like a spoonful of cream, like sweet corn, and they're deep fried in a ball. It's so good, man. Uh, I'd get those, and I'd usually get a gallon of tea. That was before I was making my own tea here. Man, it was so good. Bush's is great, but that order would cost me probably $50. considering the gas to drive there. But man, back then. I was making good money at Vulcan. Like we were realizing, man, like we'll never make money like that again as a door guy. Like back then, like when we were doing, 4 sold out shows in a row, those tip outs were wild. Like we get tipped out $50, $60, $70 a night, which is a lot. Like is considering the fact that we were also getting paid an hourly and we're getting tipped out 50, 60, $70 a night, sometimes upwards of 100. Like it was all right. It was all right. I haven't been to Lucy's yet. On Congress, Mumford is at Sunset Strip now, full time. He also does deliveries. He does grocery deliveries. I'm gonna tell y'all something, dude. Mumford Davis is a fucking hustler, bro. I wish I had his drive, because he has that figured out. He's got the drive. Like, I have to do this because I need money and I have to do this. And he does it. And I don't have that, man. I don't got it like that. I wish I did. I wish I had the drive that he's got to hustle. Bro, let me tell y'all something, dude. Mumford is so Redbox. Y'all know Redbox, the DVD rental kiosk. So they went out of business. Like literally, Redbox is out of business. They don't exist no more. But there's a handful of those red boxes around. I ain't trying, it's just a handful of it here. Don't y'all tell nobody. There's only a handful of those left. And Mumford has figured out that if you go to these Redbox kiosks and you get your DVD, when you get to the end to enter your payment information, it charges you $0 because Redbox is not a company anymore. Like, it's gone. This fool is cleaning up in red boxes. Dude, I don't mean to be telling the boys business, but we recorded a video to put it on the. He came walking in. He texted me and said, "Hey," he told me everything I just told y'all in a text message. And when he walked in the door, he walked in with a stack of Red Bulls from his belly all the way up to his chin. And I just busted out laughing, and I was like, "Bro, we gotta film this. This is fucking hilarious, dude. I thought it was gonna be like a viral thing, and it still could be, but like, that's so funny." But he literally, he's like, he's got a little surplus of DVDs. So that's sick, dude. But yeah, he's a hustler, dude. He's out there making dollars. He's delivering groceries and shit before he goes to work. And then he goes and works a shift after delivering some groceries. And then he goes after he gets off work and he does a couple of more grocery run deliveries. Just making money, dude. Hustling. That's what it takes. But he also does that with comedy. He's a hustler with comedy. And I don't do that either. And sometimes I feel inferior. There's this thing where you shouldn't. You know the theory where you at your job, you should do a good job, but you shouldn't do such a good job that you make everyone around you look bad. If that makes any sense, did y'all catch what I'm putting down? Like, like I feel like I don't hit the circuit like I should. I don't go out and do the comedy. I don't do the open mics. But seeing how much he hustles, it makes me feel inadequate because I'm not working as hard. And honestly, when I see a lot of people hustle like that, it makes me feel that way because I just don't have the desire, I think, to do it like that. I want to do stand up, and I realize that when I say stuff like that, I'll probably get less opportunities because people are like, well, if you don't really want it that bad, then we're not going to give it to you. We're going to give it to somebody who wants it that bad. But I just don't. I'm not that enthusiastic about things. Mumford asked me the other day, he was like, do you get excited about anything? And I was like, dude, honestly, because I was talking about having to wake up early this morning for that gig, and Seven watching now, 77 minutes ago started streaming. I just thought I'd point that out. 7 likes on this. I know there's more here, but on the screen I'm at, it hasn't reloaded yet. It was a cool sequence of sevens. But yeah, damn, I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere hard with that too. What's up, Blondie? Where was I going with that? This green tea has got me twisted. I'm gonna run the tape back. Hold on. Goes and works a shift after. When I say stuff like that, and I'll probably get less opportunities. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll probably get less opportunities because I don't want it as bad. Because I just don't want it as bad, and that's the thing. But that's just. I've already done all of this stuff, and I don't get excited. And Mumford asked the other day, "Do you get excited about anything?" Because I was talking about having to wake up early this morning to go do that gig. And I was like, I know I have to go do this thing. Because the last time I was asked to do that gig, it was the day that Netflix was moving in with us. And I had already made arrangements to go help him grab his bed and do a couple of trips from his old place to use my truck and stuff. So, man, I probably could have swung it, and in hindsight, I definitely should have done it. But I wasn't gonna pass up the opportunity. I told this guy needed a cover, and I told the guy I would do it. He offered me 2 days, but I took one because I knew that I could do one, but I feel like I would have felt really, really stressed and spread too thin if I did both of them. And plus, the other one is on Thursday, Secret Show Day. So I don't want to double up. But, yeah, I knew I had to do that thing. But I was like, man, I'm just so, like, anxious about going to do anything that, whenever I wake up, the second my alarm goes off, the first thing I'm going to do is look at my phone and see if I have any sort of out. any sort of way to not do the thing that I need to do or not do the thing that I'm scheduled to do. That's just how my brain works. The second that my alarm goes off, I look at my phone and I try to figure out, is somebody hurt? Is there a water main busted downtown? Is we decided we're just gonna close today because it's slow. Hey man, something came up. We're gonna have to reschedule. Hey, actually, I gotta get out of town early today. Let's postpone this lunch for another day. Hey guys, it's a slow day today. If anyone wants the day off, let us know. We won't need all of the scheduled door guys tonight. Hey guys, I am looking to pick up more hours. If any of you wants the night off, I will take your shift. I look for that. The second that I wake up, that's the first thing I look for. I am constantly trying to get out of something that I'm doing. Like, I'm constantly trying to get out of everything I'm scheduled to do. Like, every single thing, dude. It could be the biggest thing in the world, and I would just try to get out of it. It could be something that could literally change my life. Like, it could be, hey, you do this gig and you're gonna make $200 in tips, and Gary Clark Jr. is gonna come and sit in the crowd and watch the whole thing and clap and come up and tell you how good you did and tell you how much he appreciates you. And then Ron White's gonna come in and sit down and say, "Oh, hey, all those times we've been hanging out together, and now we're actually friends. You know, now we're friends." And then all of a sudden, Tony Hinchcliffe brings Joe Rogan in and says, "Hey, I want you to see this guy," and they all sit there together and they all just like Venmo me $10,000 each out of the goodness of their hearts, and it solves all of my problems. If that were the case, on that morning, I would look at my phone. Is a water main busted downtown? Did the whole block go up in flames? Did we get attacked by the Westboro Baptist people because of our hellish ways? It doesn't matter the scenario, is what I'm getting at. It could literally be something that could solve all my problems. It could be something that could it could be something that could literally like change my fucking life. And when I'm half asleep, the second that I wake up, the first thought is, do I have a way out of this? No matter what. No matter what it is, that is my initial thought every single time. So here's the thing. If you see me out and away from my house, like that is a blessing to you. That is a gift. A gift that I don't give up very easily. That's all I'm saying, dude. I almost did roadkill. I went through the Marine Corps Poolee program. I couldn't lose the weight. I was a fat body. Me and my buddy Matt were gonna go in together on the buddy system, and I couldn't lose the weight. I couldn't drop the weight, so I couldn't go. And he got back from boot camp, and I was all about being a Marine. It was my identity for a while. This was shortly after 9/11. Everybody was all kind of gung ho at that time. Like there was a lot of like pro military movies that came out around that time, and it had some influence on me. So I was literally like, that was my identity for a while, was I was going to be a Marine. And I became obsessed with it. I learned a lot about it. And I almost went. Like I was on the way to losing the weight. I could have stuck with it and made it, but one of my recruiters came to see me play a gig, and it was my very first gig at Redbone Alley in Florence. I'll never forget this because it was the first time I had ever done something like that in my life. First time I'd ever played a solo gig by myself in front of anybody. And my Marine Corps recruiter was there. He showed up. He was a good dude, Sergeant Neil Roselli. Good dude. And he was like, hey man, like, I shouldn't tell you this because it's not my job to tell people that they shouldn't do this, but like you shouldn't do this. He was like, you should like you should play music. He was like, you should do this thing. Like don't don't focus on this over here anymore. Put all your attention on this thing right here. Like this is your thing. Do that. Because he was pretty much like, hey man, I never seen you be good at anything like this. You're not good at anything else but this. You should do that. But yeah, I almost went that route. But yeah, man. Oh, dude, what do you mean? I was zipping around the driveway with my rollerblades. Roadkill, what do you mean? Hell yeah, I was a good skater. Yeah, you know what Marine stands for? Muscles are required. Intelligence not essential. Oh, I could have been, dude, I could have painted. There was a time when I was getting canvases and just painting them black and drawing like metal hands on it and stuff like that. And it was like really like, had a very unique style. It could have been good. I could have been that guy. And then we got a happy little demon over here. We got a happy little demon over here just casting a spell on these good people. Yeah, Blondie, I know what you mean, bud. Man, my life would have been so much different, bro. There ain't no telling because that would have been. I would have went to Iraq. I would have went to Afghanistan. I would have been. I would have been there through that. I would have been. I would have fought in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I would have. I would have gone and been a part of that. My buddy Matt that I went into I was gonna go into buddy program with became gunnery sergeant. He's still in.
Or he might be out now, but I feel like he's still in. He might stay in the reserves. Dude, there was a thing where he was like, he signed a paper and was like, wait, isn't there a signing bonus? And they said, did you sign yet? And he looked down and they said, yeah. And he said, nope. If he would have asked that question just a second before he did that, he would have got a nice little signing bonus. Oh, man. That would have been crazy. I think sometimes that, like, you'll go. I think that, like, this multi universe, multi dimensional theory is extremely possible. And it's just so silly to think that in one of those dimensions, I did all of that. And I don't know. I feel like it's not too difficult to imagine what it would be like if I would have went through that. Uh, well, actually, I don't know. I can't say that because uh, people that have actually been through that will be like, you have no idea what it's like, and that's true. Uh, yeah, I would have probably done that, Boba, if I would have went that route, and that's not. Yeah, I don't want to. That's a heavy burden to carry, man. Not in league. Uh, yeah, dude. That's such a sketchy thought to think, man. Like how these little decisions. I think about me and my girlfriend at the time. Uh, I think we were pretty content on getting married and having kids, and we were pretty content early on with that. And I think like how much different my life would have been if I would have just stayed with her. And like, dude, things would be so different. Sometimes I have that little comic book crumbling up in your mind, like this image that you're picturing, it just crumbles up. And I don't know if any of you have that same little image when something completely freaks you out in your mind, like a thought that you just want to throw out of your brain. It's crazy. Oh, I'd have done a lot of things different. People say they wouldn't change a thing, even if they could. Oh, I would. Um, nah. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot to experience. I couldn't imagine that. I used to ask my granddad when I was growing up, old Gordon. I used to ask him stories, and they said he never liked to talk about it. But if I asked him questions, he would always answer me, and he would be like honest. He would talk about he was artillery guy. He was next to he pulled the whatever the thing to shoot off the big gun. Damn. Yeah, the brain doesn't know the difference. Oh, yeah. Damn. That's crazy. Damn, Pooter, you got a driver? I knew you had it like that, Pooter. Um, hey, we're at 1242. We got a couple of subscribers there on that one. How about that? Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, I think about the submarine stuff and the tank stuff. Bro, I'm here to tell y'all, dude. I watched this movie, that Mel Gibson movie called We Were Soldiers, and man, it was a great movie. But Mel Gibson has this monologue, where he kind of gives like a hype speech, and dude, it's like I heard that hype speech, dude, the first time I ever heard it. I listened to that shit, and I got like all teary eyed, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna fight for my country. Sam Elliott's a badass in everything he's in. He was very good in that movie. We Were Soldiers had a decent cast. Uh, I thought it was a great movie. But yeah, dude, that shit had a big influence on me. Like I saw that and I was like, I want to do this shit, bro. Watch me, I'm gonna do this. I tried. I failed. I failed my country. And then I wrote a song about it, kind of not being. Y'all remember the Newsroom? Y'all remember that show? I think that was Aaron Sorkin, right? Um, the original, that first scene, the opening scene of the Newsroom is that clip that was always going around of Jeff Daniels talking about America, like why is America the greatest country on earth? And he freaks out and just goes on this crazy rant about how it's not number one in a lot of things, but then he like has this like beautiful moment where he's just so captivating and you realize, holy shit, Jeff Daniels is an actor. Newsroom really fell off after the first season and a half, but for the first couple seasons, dude, that show was incredible. I mean, dude, it was so good. Newsroom. That was an HBO joint. Dude, it was so strong. Yeah, it is probably pretty dated because a lot of stuff that happened isn't relevant now. But the cast was so good. Jeff Daniels is absolutely brilliant, and he's also an incredible guitar player, man. Jeff Daniels is a beast. He does the same style finger picking that I do, and that's like it's a complex pattern. And he does it very well. Well, if we were gonna play games, cards, we've already talked past the point of it now. I got up at 9:30 this morning. I am 4.5 hours away. Bro, Boba, he is really good, man. Here, I'm gonna actually play a thing real quick. Just listen to the way he plays the guitar.
This is a song, I mean, for anybody who plays guitar, right? It's okay. You don't have to be any good.
Okay.
You know?
That's any time I pick up a guitar. So.
But it's that thing
Listen
you
to
do
that.
when you're sitting on your porch with just your best friend, the guitar, and you want to write like a love song to the guitar.
Okay.
You hear that, Boba?
You were there when I was falling. You were there when I fell in love. You were there when I was thinking through all them things I was thinking of. You were always right beside me, never out of sight. You turned my never-evers into maybe I just might. Your pearly gates fly open when I bow my head and pray. My thunder turns to lightning, you rain sunshine on my day. When that melody's in me, I can hear your choir sing. When my fingers find your string.
And he did the slide down, bro.
What is happening?
That's a pretty clean finger work that he's got going on, right? Like, that's pretty strong. I'm going to post y'all that link. That's from a Kelly Clarkson thing.
This is a song, I mean, for anybody who...
Yeah. Like, he's going... It's like a boom dum boom dum boom dum boom dum, but also he's playing the bass line with the thumb, and then he's doing like accent stuff. Here, we're gonna. So he's doing a thing like where he's. Travis picking. There you go, Steve. basically you got, which is a bass line, and without the other strings doing their little jingly jangling. And then the bass. Like just having the thumb be your bass player is like, that's what he's doing. It's he's just doing that little back and forth Travis picking, and it's so banjo-y, like boom dum. It's so nice, like a. The Jimmy. I honestly don't know. Like, obviously, it depends on what key. But I guess for different keys, I got a different shape that it'll be like. And honestly, Blackbird is a nice little. See that bass line just walking up, down? And I don't know if you're noticing, but I'm only using 2 fingers. The G is just holding the note. So it's literally going. And then it goes. It literally walks all the way down and back up. It's like a nice little walking addition that I love so much about it. Like I when I was listening to a lot of like Townes Van Zandt, John Prine, they use that, where Townes Van Zandt is more like a. He does something that's so sing-songy with the notes, to where he makes it sound like the guitar is accompanying him vocally as well, you know? And it sounds very, if you let a lot of those strings ring out, it kind of sounds like a chorus. much 100% playing by feel, Pooter. I don't really. I take my brain as far out of the equation as possible, because if I can, for the most part, focus on whatever's going on TV or people watching in the room, or closing my eyes and just thinking about God knows what. If I keep my brain out of the equation, I tend to play a lot better. Like, if I can get the decision maker to just calm down. And I used to say this thing way before I could actually say it with some sort of legitimacy. I used to say this thing is, after you play for a while, it'll start to play you. But that's very, very true. And I think that's what's happening, is I'm letting it play me, you know? I could live there forever. Towns use banjo picks. I also tend to do better not using this finger. I'm more of these three. And I usually keep a pick tucked in here like that. I hold my pick like this. That way I can then I can, if I want to, then just hold it. So I just got it there if I need it. But like, I did this naturally. No one showed me how to do this. It was just something that I did, and a guitar teacher who used to come to the school. He was an old man. I forget his name. Herb. His name was it Herb? I think his name was Herb. He came out and he started teaching guitar lessons to the younger kids at the Christian school that I went to. And I'd already been playing guitar for about a year or two at this point. And he asked me one day, I went in and I sat into guitar lesson to like play with him a little bit, because I was kind of like, I played at the school a lot in chapel and such, so I was kind of like, it was a kind of a cool treat for me to come in and sit in with him. And he saw me do this thing and was like, who showed you how to do that? And I was like, I don't know, this is just what feels natural. And he was like, I've never seen anybody do that in all my years. He had never seen anybody do this. I'm sure other people do it, but this is just like, sometimes I'll even come off stage and I'll go to shake somebody's hand and I'll go out with the like missing finger thing. And then when I hit them with that, it's like I don't even think about it sometimes, and it just happens to where I'm just going to shake somebody's hand, but I still got my pick. It's happened a lot. But I like that. It's sort of a universal, like you can I play a nice little back and forth like this for a little while. I play it to the point where I'm like, okay, I know exactly where it's gonna go. There's not gonna be any surprises. It's back and forth, and I download it into my mind, and then I can hear it in my head, and then I'll just I had it for a second. But I like to do that. I'll just play a little riff back and forth for like 5 to 10 minutes sometimes. And I'm not even exaggerating. I'll like just back and forth on the same chord progression. I sit here and do this sometimes for an hour and a half after I get done with a stream. I'll just fucking... The other night I hooked up the loop station and I just played to myself, and I was just messing around, and I'll literally play something for too long to where any audience would be like, okay, move it along, okay, that's enough, we get it, you're playing guitar, we get it. But I'll just gorge myself on it. is obvious when I'm trying. Because I fuck up. See? Getting experimental. That's where mistakes come in. Just doing what you know always works. There's no need to put avocado in there. Keep making the gravy. You're good at the gravy. Keep making the gravy. I like that. That's cool, little lick. hear that thing. Ay, ay, ay. That's what this old girl likes. That's what she likes. It's I don't want to get spiritual about it. But it feels like the spirit of a deity of some ancient sort literally possesses you into the point of doing its will. And the more you resist that, the more mistakes you make, and the further away from your own involvement that you can get, the more you're being led by this deity. If you are not a musician, that's what it feels like to be one. I think. It is magic. It is literal magic that you can learn how to wield it. But sometimes it picks you. And if it does, you got to respect it enough to let it do what it chose you to do. And that's the one thing to always remember, is that it chose you, not the other way around. No. I mean, everybody I've played with, like, to get sentimental about it, is a hero of mine. Ed Dennis, the lead guitar player that I played with back home. Chip, Daryl, Adam, Smitty. All these guys, I learned a lot from playing with them. But no, I haven't gotten to jam with anybody like nuts. But Gary Clark Jr. has said that he loves to hear me play or watch me play. So, whatever that means, name drop. Tony Hinchcliffe came to the secret show the other day to hear me. One time it was cool. My buddy Bob Flacco, lead singer, another hour. One of the lead singers, another hour. Him and Bishop. He had a Flacco and Friends jam session at Sunset one night, and I was at the door, and he came across the mic. Where's Yonder at? Get Yonder up here. So I got up there, and I did Crazy by Gnarls Barkley because I know Tony loves that song. Me and him fucking bonded over that song one night. And I covered it, and he told me he liked my cover. I knew he was there, but he was back in the green room. So I started playing it, and I peeked my eyes open a couple of times, and he was standing over at the bar. I pulled him out of the green room because he was in the green room when I got on stage. And Kim Congdon was there that night with her fella, Great and Powerful Charlie, homie, and Yoni and Christy, and then Brian Holtzman walked in, and there was a bunch of like Mothership people around, and it was like the perfect storm, the literal perfect storm. I did Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, but I do my own version of it, and it was crazy, no pun intended. Then I did Use Me by Bill Withers, and I threw in a little Joe Cocker, Feeling All Right, in there. And then after that, I did This Must Be the Place by Talking Heads. And all of that was with a full band. Like, there was a full band up there. So, like, I was, like, playing some leads, and I was, like, letting the hair go. I was shaking it around. I was being extra. I was turning it on because I knew who was in the room. You know what I mean? This one goes to 11. Sometimes here's the thing, if you always play on 10, there's no ceiling. You are at your ceiling. If you always play at your ceiling, there's no room for dynamic. It's like volume. Like, if you think about a volume in a file, the louder something gets, or the closer to the edge it gets, there's no room for it to have dynamic or move around. You have to do the same thing with, like, the level of energy you put into something. You can't crank it to 11 all the time, but every now and again, it's worth it to crank it all the way to 11 just to show everybody, hey, I can do this. I choose not to do this every single time, but I have this in my arsenal. And I chose to do that night, man. I turned it on. I flaming lips that shit. I turned it on and all the way up. Turned it on. In your houses when you wake up. Turn it on. Man. Yeah, I don't know how well you guys could hear the people in the room. It was literally just me, the bartender, and the chef. The chef made the coffee. Dude, and that coffee was fucking banging, dude. I like don't even really fuck with coffee like that. But it was banging. Oh man, that one lady was so pretty. She was so classically just, it wasn't gaudy, she wasn't showy, she wasn't like she was dressed modestly. Man, just classically gorgeous. And you love to see it. She gave a tip. She was very, very sweet. I thanked her as she was leaving. I delicately shook her hand and made deep eye contact and said, "Thank you so much. You were so sweet. Thank you." Good Lord. She was very, very classically, like, carnally attractive. Well, I hope that I don't fall in love with you, 'cause falling in love just makes me blue. Well, the music played and you displayed your heart for me to see. I've had a beer and now I hear you calling out to me. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. The night does funny things inside a man. These old tomcat feelings you don't understand. Well, if you sit down with this old clown, I'd take that frown and break it. Now the evening's gone away, I think that we can make it. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. I can see that you are lonesome just like me, and it being late you'd like some company. What's the next part? And I hope that you don't fall in love with me. That's it. Well, it's closing time. The music's fading out. One last call for drinks, I'll have another stout. No, there's another line that I missed in there somewhere where he's like, oh, the guy you with, he's up and split the chair next to you's free. Ah, it's so good. Oh. Is Tom Waits has such a beautiful way of so delicately and perfectly describing what heartache feels like, where he's like, it's closing time, the music's fading out. One last call for drinks, I'll have another stout. But I turn around and look at you, you're nowhere to be found. I searched the place for your lost face. Guess I'll have another round. And I think that I just fell in love with you. It's so, like, he's just like, I think that I just fell in love with you as it's the end. I did a Tom Waits song today that I've never done, like, outside of the Secret Show sound check. I've done it at sound check, a Secret Show before, but it was a The house where nobody lives. Is so good. Where there's this thing I can't stop scratching. I know you're not supposed to touch the things where you break out on your face. That makes it worse, but I can't stop touching it. My face is breaking out. The house where nobody lives, where he's like, there's a house on my block that's abandoned and cold. The folks moved out of it a long time ago. They took all their things and they never came back. It looks like it's haunted with the windows all cracked. And everyone calls it the house where nobody lives. Once it held laughter, once it held dreams. Did they throw it away? Did they care what it means? Did someone's heart break? Did someone do somebody wrong? Well, the paint was all cracked. It was peeled off the wood. The papers were stacked on the front porch where I stood. The weeds had grown up just as high as the door. There were birds in the chimney and an old Chester drawer. And it looked like no one would ever come back to the house where nobody lives. And it repeats the chorus. Once it held laughter, once it held dreams. Did they throw it away? Did they care what it means? Did someone's heart break? Did someone do somebody wrong? So if you find someone to have, someone to hold, don't trade it for silver, don't trade it for gold. Because I have all of life's pleasures, all of life's treasures, and they're fine and they're good, and they remind me that houses are just made of wood. What makes a house grand, it ain't the roof or the door. If there's love in a house, then it's a palace for sure. Without love, it ain't nothing but a house where no one lives. Because without love, it ain't nothing but a house where nobody lives. That's it, man. Tom Waits, bro. I did that song today and I was like, you know what? Usually I wouldn't want to do a song like this, but it was so dead and there was only a handful of us in there. So I was like, what do I want to play? And you know what? That's what I wanted to play. I actually played a few songs that I wanted to play today. I played, obviously that one. I played a Joe Pug song. Y'all want to hear it? We're about to do another talk through right here. I'm about to do another song. But so, well, I've come to know the wish list of my father, and I've come to know the shipwrecks where he wished. I've come to wish aloud amongst the overdressed crowd, come to witness now the sinking of the ship, throwing pennies from the sea top next to it. Well, I've come to roam the forest past the village with a dozen lazy horses in my cart. I've come here to get high, to do more than just get by. I've come to test the timber of my heart. Oh, I have come to test the timber of my heart. And I've come to be untroubled in my seeking. And I've come to know that nothing is for naught. I've come to reach out blind, to reach forward and behind, because the more I seek, the more I'm sought. Yes, the more I seek, the more I'm sought. I've come to meet the sheriff and his posse to offer him the broadside of my jaw. I've come to wind up broke and maybe bum a smoke. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. I've come to meet the legendary takers. I've only come to ask them for a lot. They say I come with less than I should rightfully possess, and I say the more I buy, the more I'm bought. And the more I'm bought, the less I cost. And I've come to take their service and their surplus. And I've come to take their raincoats and their speed. I've come to drink my fill. I've come to ransack and spill. I have come to trade the harvest for the seed. And I've come to know the manger that you sleep in. And I've come to be the stranger that you keep. And I've come from down the road, and girl, my footsteps never slowed. Before we met, I knew we'd meet. And I've come here to ignore your cries and heartaches. I've come to closely listen to you sing. I've come here to insist that I leave here with a kiss. And I've come to say exactly what I mean. And I mean so many things. And you have come to know me stubborn as a butcher. And you've come to know me thankless as a guest. But will you recognize my face after God's awful grace has stripped me of my jacket and my vest and revealed all the treasure in my chest? They say I come with less than I should rightfully possess. I say the more I buy, the more I'm bought. And the more I'm bought, the less I cost. Lyrics, man. You know that thing that I was saying in Virtual Red Band the other night, you know? Like, I'm sure that years from now, you'll be able to hear the intro to War Pigs with that siren going and those guitars crunching. Like, I'm sure that will always invoke a thing. But just that whole that whole thing, man, like that's lyrics will always mean something. Like being able to powerfully put words together. And Joe Pug, that guy that wrote that thing that I just said, it's almost pretentious in a way, that the way that he writes, like he writes almost purposefully excessive with how he writes. Is that how you say it? Yeah. Anyway, I've talked myself crazy and into delirium. So we should probably end this thing. It is close to 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go to sleep, and when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to cook something super duper quick, which will probably be a steak, mushroom and onions. I'm going to enjoy that meal. And then I'm going to enjoy a couple of tabs of paper and enjoy Christmas Eve. That's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Big bowl of grits for breakfast. Yes, ma'am, with ham for breakfast. Egg scrambled with cheese for breakfast. Get on my knees, say please for breakfast. I've come a long way for breakfast. I'm happy to pay for breakfast. Such a nice day for breakfast. Gonna change my name to breakfast. Don't make enough time for breakfast. Not supposed to drink wine for breakfast. Better wait in line for breakfast. You better stay away from my breakfast. Gonna use a gift card for breakfast. Gonna try real hard for breakfast. Slaughter hogs in the barn for breakfast. Cats eat a big ball of yarn for breakfast. Have a moment to talk about breakfast? Don't think I can live without breakfast. Plant a seed and watch it sprout breakfast. And if you hear me, then holler out breakfast.